Union member, that sounds really good. But what I said before, there is a greater good. All right? When you take in consideration, we're headed into national negotiations next year. Using an example of one local having 15,000 members at $500 a day comes up to be $7.5 million for one day being out on strike.
What do you say?
A week. Sorry. So when you're out, the thing that wasn't talked about yesterday, and like I said, there's always cause and effect, is the fact they didn't talk about the health care cost association for being out on strike. We are here to do our locals justice. And the last thing I want to do is give these multi-billion-dollar corporations the tools to bankrupt us while we're on strike. So I hereby make a recommendation of a motion of going back, reconsideration of the $500 strike pay. Thank you. And the strike pay. Thank you.
Delegates, stand by on this one. We need a parliamentarian back. Motion for reconsideration requires a majority vote. There's already support. We're going to vote, and delegate with the hat and the book, white book, go to mic 2.
Scott Holdison, UAW Local 551, Region 4. Under Robert's Rules of Order, to reconsider requires a delegate that was on the majority side to make the motion to reconsider. And since we did not do a roll call vote, we have no idea who was on the majority and who was on the minority. So this has to be done.
Delegate with the orange folder, please go to mic 6. Delegate, stay at mic 2.
My name is Rita Griffin, out of Local 2250, Region 4. Director Ron McElroy, Assistant Director Brad Dutcher, my servicing rep Johnny Mack, under the leadership of President Fred Jameson. Our local submitted the resolution, so we stood as one unit in favor. Local 2250 stood in favor, and I supported that. And I have to tell you, I've been UAW since 1996. This is my 3rd local. I have gone through not having a tier to being a part of a tier, and it's not fun. I also understand, because I am a General Motors employee, how it feels to be on strike, okay? The extra $100 is wonderful, would be wonderful. However, it would negatively impact the operation of our union as a whole. And I took an oath at my local to stand with my local and to fight for my local. But in standing with my local and fighting for my local, if I vote for something that's not in our best interest or in your best interest financially is not supporting our local. And so I can tell you, I can be recognized because we stood as a local to support a resolution that came from my local.
Thank you, Delegate. Delegate at mic 2, we're going to address the question. Delegate that made the motion for reconsideration is out of Region 8. Please go back to mic 7. Delegate that's at mic 7, did you vote in favor for the increase?
Yes, I did. And after
The
I
delegate
crunched the numbers, I was
the
wrong.
delegate at mic 7 affirms that he was in the majority having voted for it. Delegate at mic 2, your question's been addressed. Delegate at mic 2, he acknowledged on the convention floor he voted in a majority.
Just because he says so right now.
Delegate at mic 2, please take your seat. Thank you.
Wow.
You've heard the reconsideration. There's also been a second. We're going to now open up the floor for debate. We're going to start at Region 1. Someone to speak for or against it on the reconsideration. Point of order, right here with the pink shirt. Salmon. The lights are different up here.
Jerry Ross Jr., Local 1762, under Region 8. Mitchell Smith and Tim Smith as our leadership. I want to ask for end debate and ask the question.
And debate's been called, question's been called. Is there a second? All in favor in debate, please signify by saying aye. The opposed signify by saying nay. The ayes have it, debate's ended. The motion for reconsideration is now on the floor, and that is on the original 500 increase. All in favor of the reconsideration, please say aye. Opposed signify by saying nay. We're going to have to take a stand. Salmon color paper, please go to mic 6. We're going to have a stand and a hand count on that vote. Come to mic 2.
Now, welcome to the UAW.
Sheila Kulkarni, UAW Local 2865. I motion for a roll call vote.
That we could just.
Roll call vote has been requested. There is support. Roll call requires 318 delegates. So we will proceed with the count for the roll call vote. Those in favor of a roll call vote, please stand to be counted.
They don't want to be accountable either.
They don't want a roll call vote? No. The cowards. It's really fucking.
Rest assured, CB is standing up right now. I'm kidding. No, that was a joke. I'm shocked.
Oh, sorry.
Point of information, Brown Hag, mic 3.
Vince Boyer, UAW Local 140. My question is, how do you know if the number's 318 being a lot of delegates have left? How do we know how many people are actually in the body? So how did you come up with that number?
It's the numbers in the rules right now. Based on the last credential report. There's 118 votes, roll calls defeated. So, we're back on the motion of the reconsideration. All in favor of the reconsideration, please stand. Orange card, mic number 4.
My apologies, or Cruz apologies was dragged out further, but I just wanted to get a clarification out there. That's what we're about to take. So, if we vote yay for this, we means we agree to get rid of the $500 raise that was voted for yesterday, and we're saying nay, we are keeping the $500.
Delegate, you are absolutely correct.
Thank you. I just want to make sure that was clarified to everyone. My apologies for stretching this out.
Thank you, Delegate. Reconsideration. Delegates in favor of the reconsideration, please stand. Delegate with the orange paper, please go to mic 6.
Rita Griffin, Local 2250. I'm asking for information, so is it possible that Secretary Stublin can take the mic and give us information about the impact of the increase, the $100 increase?
Delegates, stand by for that information. We're in a voting process right now. It was already started.
The vote hasn't started yet.
Delegates were voting. Roll call it ended, debated ended, and we were voting, delegate. We'll provide that information.
Based on the GM strike, it would have been an extra $29 million.
And
The actual cost of the GM strike was $79 million.
Delegate with the orange folder, please go to mic number 2.
are they counting all this is going on?
That was not including healthcare.
He got those numbers fast, man.
Yes, delegate.
Marcus Derby, UAW, Local 807. So how are we going to strategically, and I'm going to use the F word here, unfuck the fact that the UAW on the UAW.org website has already published publicly that we have raised strike pay to $500. Detroit Free Press has already published it. The WSWS has already published it.
Delegate, please stand by. Actions of the delegates on a specific day, because of the day of the convention, that information has been posted daily on the actions. That was an action yesterday. We've got another action going on today. It's called reconsideration. delegate with the white paper, please go to mic 3.
Hi, Camila Degree, Local 1700, Region 1. I understand what everybody is saying about that $100 going up and how much money it's going to cost, but at the same time, I feel like we got to help our brothers and sisters that's out on the strike. We're the ones
Delegate,
trying
this was not debate. Debate's ended on this.
Well, I'm just doing this like as a point of information.
Delegate, you're out of order.
Okay, thank you.
Please continue to count, auditors. Yeah, yes, you should still be standing for the vote. Delegates should be still standing in favor of the reconsideration to be counted by the auditors. Delegates that were opposed to the reconsideration, please stand.
Wow.
Hey man, they got their marching orders.
Please stand by. The vote count is 421 to 181. Reconsideration has been granted.